During the meal, Third Prince Julius even went out of his way to arrange for two beautiful women to accompany them. Since ancient times, heroes have struggled to resist the charms of beauty. Sometimes, a stunning woman can be far more alluring than rare treasures or power and status. Dustin remained calm in the face of such goodwill. He neither appeared delighted nor made any effort to refuse. Sitting beside the beautiful women, he maintained a polite distance. Drinking wine to warm the atmosphere was fine, but he didn't go any further. However, in Julius' eyes, this reaction meant something else entirely. In his view, Dustin clearly looked down on these ordinary beauties, but it made sense. With Dustin's background, how could average women move his heart? He'd have to bring out the big guns. Looks like he might have to present his most treasured beauty to test the waters. After they had eaten and drunk their fill, Julius personally led Dustin to the training grounds within the residence. The sun was shining brightly, and in the open-air arena, more than 100 armored soldiers were engaged in intense combat drills. These men had robust physiques and powerful cultivation. Their aura was overwhelming. One glance and it was obvious they had been handpicked and rigorously trained. Any one of them could serve as a battalion commander in a regular army. Dustin swept his gaze across them. This elite force was no weaker than the Royal Enforcement Team of West Lacosia. Among them, innate martial artists were the baseline. The two commanding generals had both reached the level of Martial Grandmaster, and they weren't ordinary Grandmasters. This level of combat strength was extremely formidable, easily capable of wiping out an entire aristocratic clan. This was clearly part of Julius' hidden arsenal. Of course, that was only what could be seen on the surface. Who knew how many other experts were hidden in the shadows? To stand out among all the princes and become a powerful contender for the throne, he truly could not be underestimated. Brother Dustin, what do you think of my soldiers? Do they meet your standards? Julius asked with a grin. He had brought Dustin here intentionally to showcase his strength, making it clear he had a strong foundation. This was a subtle way of roping him in. Not bad. They're elite warriors, each worth 100 men. Very impressive. Dustin nodded in praise. I didn't expect you, Your Highness, to have such a formidable force hidden in your residence. Truly admirable. Ha! This is just a little side project I put together on a whim, hardly worth mentioning. Julius chuckled. You're too modest. Even this casual team of yours outshines many sects with centuries of foundation. Dustin replied. He wasn't just flattering. With two powerful grandmasters leading, more than 10 half-step grandmasters, and over 108 experts, this fighting force outmatched most major sects. More importantly, Julius' troops were specially trained. They followed orders strictly and moved with flawless coordination, which multiplied their lethality. No typical martial sect could stand against them. Brother Dustin, my soldiers could use some tempering. Since you're here, why not train them a bit? Let them see for themselves that there's always someone stronger, Julius said with a smile. On one hand, he was showing off his strength. On the other, it was a perfect opportunity to drill his men. Though his soldiers were seasoned and battle-hardened, they'd never sparred against someone from the very top of the martial world. Now that he had Dustin here as a whetstone, it would be a waste not to use him. Your Highness, I'm not sure that's a good idea. Dustin looked hesitant. These soldiers were Julius' prized elite. If they got hurt, wouldn't that backfire? Oh, come on! Just a friendly match, no weapons involved. Just give them a little guidance. Some of them are getting cocky. It's good for them to suffer a bit. Julius said casually. Well, since Your Highness insists, I'll have a little spar with them. Dustin no longer declined. With his intelligence, he could easily see through Julius' intentions, and he had to admit, Julius truly was shrewd. Even now, he was trying to squeeze out more value from him. Excellent, Julius said with a small smile. He stepped forward and clapped his hands softly. The soldiers, who had been fiercely sparring just moments before, immediately halted their actions. Fall in! A burly, broad-shouldered general with a full beard shouted. Within the space of 2 breaths, the previously scattered formation had reassembled into a perfect line. Every soldier stood like a spear, eyes sharp, or a fierce. The lead general is Zhang He, and the deputy at his side is Wu Yong, Julius said, pointing at the bearded man and then the lean man beside him holding a long spear, giving Dustin a quick introduction. Greetings, Your Highness! What are your orders? Jean-He stepped forward in large strides and cupped his fists in salute. This is Master Dustin, an expert among experts. Pick a few men and have him give you some guidance, Julius instructed. Jean-He finally looked at Dustin, his brows furrowing slightly, eyes filled with doubt. Clearly, he didn't quite believe Julius' words. A guy who looked like he couldn't even kill a chicken. How could he possibly be a match for his elite warriors?
And just can't accept it. This can't be the end yet. You promised to never leave, and now you're gone. Can't believe I can feel the world slipping away as you slowly fade from my everyday. You promised forever a love without end, but now I'm left broken, struggling to mend. I thought we were so tied, destined for a lifetime, love with no end, love with no end. Staying in my imagination, memorizing the past time, the secrets, the love, the care, now they're echoes in the air. I still see your face in every place, feel your warmth, your gentle grace, but now there's just an empty space, and I'm lost in this endless chase. Keeping you in my heart, a piece of you